Hello coaches, thank you for joining me for another week. This week we're going to talk about defending at youth level, session design. Interesting topic. Before we start, as always, big thanks to KEYFRAME for teaming up with us on these. Check out KEYFRAME on the link below. We'll have a little bit in the middle about what they do. Highly recommend you check them out if you're looking for some animations to help your presentations, to help your communication with your players. Definitely recommend KEYFRAME. And also please check out the link below if you want to look at more session design, Modern Soccer Coach 20 attacking sessions, and also the pressing book as well. Okay, let's go. Defending. Okay, for the starting point for defending at the youth levels, we don't typically have or typically need game models per se, but I do think it's important to get an understanding of what you're looking for whenever you're designing your sessions. So for an example, let's take this question. How do you see defending from a player development standpoint? Do you see defending in this clip where the defender is backing up on their heels, looking for a little bit of cover probably sending them into an area? Or do you see defending in this picture where it's more aggressive, more pressing style, the player's trying to win the ball high, get a reward, be more aggressive with that position? How do you see defending? Now, what will probably happen is that a coach will say, well, I see both of those as being important, and I completely get that there. Definitely you need to have both as an elite player in the game today. You need to be able to take them and look for cover, or you need to be able to win it high and play in a pressing system. But what are you going to prioritize with your session, and what's easier to coach? So easier to coach is probably, hey, show them this way, show them that way, look for cover, get players behind you. And the more challenging thing to coach is to win it higher, and pressing systems are harder to coach. So I would start with that in mind. Let's take the most challenging topic at youth level, which would be pressing, and try to build it into our sessions through that there. So all these sessions are going to be about winning the ball high, trying to be aggressive, defending on our front foot, rather than defending in blocks or showing them into space or waiting until the attacker makes a mistake. Here we go. So with that in mind, I'm going to make sure all my exercises that I design have an element of positioning, higher up the pitch, decisions, not the constant same decision over and over again, transitions, so that position is challenged and it's not you stand here and try and do this here. No, you have to earn the positioning through decisions. And then the mentality piece, that aggression that we talk about, trying to win it high, understanding there's a reward if you press and win it high. So here are some examples with session design.
So this is an exercise that I see quite often as a traditional defending practice for youth players. So what you've got is basically a player playing the ball to a partner and then playing 1v1, 2 mini goals. The player with the ball is the attacker, the other player is the defender, trying to get into mini goals, and if the defender wins the ball, they can score in the other mini goal. And I would question this here for a few reasons. Number one, I think this exercise favours the defender all the time because there's limited space for an attacker. Second thing is that it's the same picture over and over again, so you're not exposing that defender to different types of pressure, different types of defending. You're also not exposing that defender to different types of tactical contexts. So they're not looking at spacing, they're not looking at playing alongside someone, they're not looking at numbers, and also there's not really an incentive to win the ball early. So yeah, there's an incentive maybe higher to win the ball high up the pitch to your goal. But this game could go on for 20 or 30 seconds. And if the ball is in an area for 20 or 30 seconds and you're not winning the ball, chances are that the team that you're playing against will be allowed then to transfer the ball into another area with less pressure. And before you know it, they're 20, 30 yards higher up the pitch and they're looking at a goal scoring opportunity. So I think it doesn't really build effective, strong habits for 1v1 aggressive defending with young players. I think there's better ways to do it. Alright, so the first one is a 1v1 exercise, a little like the one we looked at in a traditional way, but it's got way more room to do stuff with. So 4 groups, all with about 3 or 4 players behind each one, different colours. So very simple starting point with this here. One colour plays against another colour. So in this example, it's red playing against pink. And then going the other way, it's blue against yellow. Now, what I like about this is there's a little bit of chaos. It's a little bit of a different picture. One competition is going one way, one competition is going the other way. Now here's why I like it. One, the quick changes, so you get a lot of reps and it can be competitive and enjoyable. But two, the room it has to make this here a lot more challenging, a lot more flexible in terms of the decisions that you're asking the players to make defensively. So what you can also do is they can play 1v1 to 2 goals. They can play 2v2. They can transition to different goals. They can maybe use other players as support players. So as a coach, your imagination is really important here, but you can set different challenges to your defenders based on what you want to try and get out of the training session. I love this as a starting point. Great way to start the session. Competitive fun, plenty of reps, high tempo. Let's go. Again, another simple starting point, but a really, really good exercise here to emphasize transitions, defending. You're not just defending. You're transitioning, you're attacking, defending. It's quick, it's intense, it's competitive, it's enjoyable. So you split the group into 2 groups, red, blue. This time, 2v2 to start. I like starting this here by the coach because it can improve and increase the intensity. Ball's played by the coach, 2 blues against 2 reds. As soon as the ball is done, there's a transition. The defending team is off. The attacking team becomes the defending team, and the next colour up is the attacking team. So you've got to structure this and organise this here effectively so that you've got the teams operating alternatively and starting points. Again, you attack, you defend, you then get off. Attack, defend, get off. But the coach all the time is playing the ball in. Again, if you win the ball, you can attack straight away and either goal. Maybe give them an extra point for that one as an incentive, so you communicate how much that you want them to step in and try and win the ball. 2 points for a goal in the small goals, 1 point for a goal in the main goal at the bottom. Again, another fun exercise that's got a transitional element to it. 3 reds starting against 2 blue defenders inside the 18-yard box. So you're starting against an overload, defend against an overload. But as soon as the red team attack and finish their attack, the 2 blues on either side in those yellow spaces are going to try and accelerate out on the dribble and pass the ball into the mini goal. So maybe you give 3-4 seconds after the attack's done. You allow those wide red players to try and get into those yellow boxes and try and apply pressure and prevent those passes being played into the mini goal or the dribble into the mini goal. If they stop that, maybe you give them an extra point. But this is another good exercise to allow them to experience both attacking and defending within seconds of each other. Really good exercise, competitive, high tempo, and it communicates exactly what you want in the attack and in the transition. Okay, next up, 7v7 transition game. I love this, inspired by Marcelo Bielsa, whose marking system got a lot of criticism, but I think as a youth level, I think it's brilliant because it improves 1v1 defending and takes away the reliance on cover, relying on someone behind you, allows that player to experience press and allows that player to experience 1v1 defending. So you've got 2 teams of 7, 1 goalkeeper, obviously, 1 centre-back on each team who's a free player. Everyone else is going to match up with the opposition. You can do that as a coach and organise it. So you've got 5 pairs all matched up. Each player must play directly against their opponent. So you can only tackle the player you're playing against. Players are free to move, dribble, pass, whatever it is, but they can only tackle their direct opponent. You can play for a couple of minutes, rotate the spare defender, and then play a game. Really, really good game to get you thinking about losing a marker and get you thinking about defending and trying to find space as an attacker. Love this game. And then our last one, similar theme, 7v7. Everyone outside the goalkeepers are given a number by the coach. There's also a 1v1 pitch right next there in yellow. So what the coach does is allows them to play 7v7, no restrictions, and then calls out a number. When the number is called, the number from each team must go into the 1v1 game and play 1v1. So you're exposed to 1v1 defending as well. The first player in might get the ball. The second player in might have to defend. They're only defending for a few seconds and then bang, they're back into a game. And then the other teams have to deal with the overloads as well. They might have a player that's slow at getting back in, or they might have a player that's quickly getting back in. But again, it's a good game to allow them to experience defending and the game within each other and hopefully see the connection.
So there we have it, 5 practices, 5 exercises, something that I hope could engage players, something that I hope could give them different pictures, different problems to solve, different challenges that can relate to the game, but most importantly, something that can make it competitive and enjoyable. Like I said, I don't think it's bad playing 1v1 the odd time. Playing it every time, looking for every defensive principle in that exercise, I think is very, very difficult. So I would always look at progressing it. I would always look at changing it and making sure that you're always exposing them to different types of decisions or different types of pictures. Again, keeps it enjoyable, keeps it competitive, and hopefully allows the players to get excited about defending. So hope you enjoyed it. As always, please give it a like, give it a subscribe below. Please check out the ebook and please check out KEYFRAME. Thank you. See you next week.